Now then, since I've fixed the wheel, put the different motor on it and the speed controller, I've been experimenting with a few of these bowls. I think we've got misting up of the camera. Hang on a minute. That's better. I've just brought the camera into a warm workshop. But there we go. That one has been turned over. As you'll notice, these have been thrown on bats. Yeah, piece of plywood basically. Yeah, and then you lift that off the wheel, and the plywood itself is stuck onto the wheel with a thin layer of clay, which you throw onto the wheel, and then put the plywood on top. Then you can change the plywood for other ones. Anyway, we've got the wood stove going, and I'm drying them out a bit. So that one's been sat there for, I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that. So now I'm going to cut that off the bat and turn it over. And I thought, why not video it? Yeah, why indeed not? Right, let's crack on with that. So here we go. I think we need some more light. Hang on a minute. We're getting some shadows. Switch those on. And I'll maybe switch these on as well. Hopefully that's better. Oh yes. Right, well, I made this, which is 2 bits of hazel or something like that, and a very thinnish bit of wire. Yeah, I think we got the camera in the wrong place, but that was, I got this. It's a roll of wire. It's fairly flexible. I think it was actually engineer's wire locking wire. Let me just move the camera a bit. Hopefully that's a bit better. So engineer's locking wire, or so it seems. Now you need this really tight, and you need it right on the bat, and gently pull it through. You don't want the wire to lift off the bat. Yeah, so therefore you don't want the wire very long. So there we go. So this is not freshly thrown. This has been sat for a few hours. Then let's put a board on there. Turn it over. Hopefully this will lift off. Come on. Do as you're told. There. And as you can see, this is very even. Yeah, it doesn't swoop up at one end where the wire wasn't tight enough for everything. Just spin that round like that. I'm just experimenting with larger bowls. But there you go. I just thought you'd like to see that. Just the next process of, well, let's see. I think with pottery, you don't finish learning. Right? I'm not really, I wouldn't like to think of me as a production potter. Maybe a lot of the stuff that I make is quite utilitarian, which is fine, but I just find the challenge to actually, you know, work with your own clay and then go through the whole process and then produce something and then fire it yourself. I have been doing a bit of work with hopscotch pottery down in Spalding, and I did do a one-day retreat there a while ago. It was marvellous. I just learnt quite a lot about applying glaze and glazing and all that sort of thing, and just being in a different environment with different people, you get to appreciate your own skills, and you get tips and this and that and different ideas. So I enjoyed hopscotch pottery. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, put a board on the top, flip it over, but thin wire and really tight. You know, this is not very long, but actually it doesn't need to be that long. You see cut-off wires that are really long and you think, well, that's pretty pointless unless you're actually just wedging clay and you're cutting through a big block. But for this sort of work, that's too long. Right, I shall catch up with you soon. Cheers for now.